What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down Justin Jefferson versus Sauce Gardner in some wide receiver versus DB one-on-one situations. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it teaches you a few new things and gives you some value. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you would like a daily training schedule in the gym and on the field that you can do this offseason, check out that very first link in the description below for our ultimate 8-week wide receiver workout plan. It's a 2-month daily training schedule with the exact sets, reps, and examples of each on-field drill and gym exercise you should be doing. So check out that very first link in the description below if you're interested, fellas. Let's get started with this video. So this first route here is going to be a dig from Justin Jefferson. Now, he ends up winning the rep. He catches the ball, but he takes a pretty big shot on this thing. But because he ran such a great route, that allowed him to make a catch and allowed the quarterback to put that ball only where his guy could get it. So coming off the line of scrimmage, what wide receivers are taught is that when you see head-up press coverage, right? Head-up press, he's got maybe a little bit of cushion, maybe about a yard of space with me. I don't necessarily know what leverage he is trying to keep. The wide receivers, you know how they structure your routes, the releases that they decide to choose off the line. It is based usually on how this DB is lined up and what his leverage is, right? You see videos of guys in the offseason always talking about releases. Oh, well, I need to attack his leverage here. I need to attack his leverage there. That's what that means. So if Sauce Gardner, if he's running a dig route, and let's say Sauce Gardner was lined up to the inside shade, that would change up the route. He would probably attack his leverage and take the outside release and try to work something within like an outside release move. But Sauce Gardner, what he does, he lines up in a head-up press. He's not showing a specific leverage. So with Justin Jefferson's release, it is all about gathering info. You hear guys like Doug Baldwin talk about this a lot. Devontae Adams talk about this a lot. We need to close the cushion with the DB, and we are gathering info to see what he does. Because when he's in head-up, we do not know. So you see how when he comes off the ball, Sauce Gardner kind of starts to shade to the outside. So when a DB shades to the outside, that means that he is in outside leverage. So when he's in outside leverage, that means a couple different things. That means that he's trying to protect the outside. So if Jefferson was trying to run like that 10-yard out that he likes to run, a comeback, a fade, Gardner is trying to prevent that. If Jefferson forces the outside release, he is going to get hands, and his goal is to squeeze him all the way to that sideline to limit the field. He wants to force him to the inside, take away the outside route. Now, why would he want to do that? There's 50 yards of space to the inside that Jefferson could go run. So he has safety help to the inside. So that safety help to the inside is the help that ends up giving Jefferson a pretty good hit on this thing coming down over the top. But on your routes, fellas, when you have to run an inside breaking route with that inside release and you have outside shade coverage, you have to do something called getting skinny. And Jefferson is very good at doing that. So when he comes off the ball, gathers the info, sees Gardner shaded to the outside, takes the inside release. Now, instead of just running and just rounding it off to the dig, he stays in a good low pad level position. That's like an explosive position. You want to have a slight lean forward, almost like a slight lean at your hips. So he can get back into Gardner, get skinny, use his body, use his size as an advantage right here, because all that does is creates a bigger window for the quarterback to make a throw. Because if he just takes off and doesn't get skinny right here and doesn't get into his frame and he just runs the route, you got a DB who's right on his back hip, and then you got a safety who you're just running into. Quarterback's not going to give you that ball. But you get skinny on this route, that creates a bigger window, or at least the window that there should be. So Jefferson breaks this thing off. Getting skinny at the break point and almost leaning into the DB is a way to push off without getting the flag called, because you're not extending, you're not pushing him. You're just using your body and making that hard cut to just get a step of separation. Now, Gardner is super talented. He did not let him get a ton of separation at all, but at least we have a window for my quarterback. This is a quarterback-friendly route, and that is how you want to try to run all of your routes, by understanding the leverage, understanding why a DB is playing a certain way. And then great job, Jefferson, being able to catch this ball and hold on to this thing while taking a huge shot from that safety. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Again, great job by Jefferson beating this outside leverage shaded coverage, getting skinny on the route, and giving that quarterback just enough room to where that safety doesn't pick that ball off or make a play on the ball. So now, this is a good player from Gardner. This is an out route from Justin Jefferson. Now, I honestly think he was open. I think quarterback needs to put the ball. I think Cousins needs to put that ball on him. I think he just misses the throw. And, you know, obviously Cousins hits a lot more throws than he misses for sure. But this is just a missed pass. So let's play this thing full speed. So he comes off the ball. Now we got inside shade coverage, and we have an outside breaking route. So kind of the same similar process of the last one, except there's no safety help. there is sideline help. So I'm going to play this full speed. So he comes off the ball, attacks his leverage, gets skinny again. Jefferson does a great job of doing that. Just the ball was thrown a tad behind. But he was open. I think he got him by a couple steps. And if that ball is put here, that's a big-time completion. And I feel like a lot more people are showing this route because Jefferson did run a very good route on this. So same principles apply. It's just flipped. In the last example, he was running a dig. In this example, he's running an out. But now we have inside shade press coverage. And again, like I said, it's all based on the DB's leverage, how wide receivers structure their route. So he's inside shade for what reason do you think? To prevent the inside route. He wants to stop the slant. He wants to stop the dig, the post, everything. Do you think he has safety help? No, but he has help from the 12th defender on the field, and that defender is the sideline. So a lot of you might think, well, oh, he's inside shade off the line. Why doesn't Jefferson just take off and go run? He's got all this space out here. There's no safety help. That's exactly what Gardner wants him to do. If you just come off the ball and you just take off and go run, especially a physical DB like Gardner, he's going to get hands right into your hip. And when you run a 10-yard out with a DB right on your hip and you only have maybe about a yard or two to the sideline, that is almost an impossible throw for that quarterback. So you have to make sure we threaten his leverage. Let's get into his cushion. And that's what Jefferson does. Comes off the ball, attacks that leverage, gets into his cushion a little bit. Maybe could have closed a little bit more space, but still, Gardner's a dangerous DB in press. He loves to get hands. So at the end of the day, we can't get stuck off that line of scrimmage because I'm trying to do too much. Sometimes we just have to get up into the route, especially on an out route, because that's a timing route for my quarterback. So Jefferson, when he pushes up vertical, you see how he doesn't just take off and keep running out wide to the sideline. He gets skinny. He uses his body, uses his size to his advantage. He's got a little bit bigger frame than Gardner does here. So it's about staying low. It's about running hard and giving that lean into him at the break point. So when he breaks this thing off, he can almost use his body as a way to push off of the defender without getting that flag thrown. Now, when he does lean into him, he kind of leans back a tad, like his chest is up in the air. And if a DB gets a good hand on you when your chest is up high and your pad level is high, he starts out low, but at the break point he raises up. That can cause you to be off balance if he even gets just a little bit of a nudge on you. And that's why Jefferson came out of this thing a little off balance, kind of leaning forward. Maybe didn't see the ball because he's off balance. Just make sure when we do lean into that guy, fellas, we are keeping a good explosive pad level position. So if there is contact, if the DB does maybe grab us, push us, whatever, I'm not going to be falling off balance. I'm going to be able to stay on my route. But that's a great job by Jefferson. It's a way to get separation. Ball was thrown a little bit behind. I think if that ball's thrown in front of him or maybe Jefferson sees it, that could be a different scenario. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. But great battle between the two of these guys. Next example we're going to show really showcases Sauce Gardner's great recovery speed, which is what makes him such a talented DB. So Jefferson gets a lot of guys on this route over and over again throughout the season where he's running kind of like this drag climb route over the middle where he's just trying to get across this defender's face. Now, he loves, again, and he's a very talented receiver. He's a very smart wide receiver. When we have space with the DB, what do I have to do with this space? I have to close the space, right? I have to close the cushion. I have to try to step onto his toes. I got to make him uncomfortable. So a lot of DBs, when Jefferson does this and they close the space, he gives kind of this hesitation move and he's able to take off to the inside. They don't have the recovery speed like Sauce Gardner does and they get beat. But I want you to watch how fast he is able to close in on this thing. That is insanely quick recovery speed, and that's why Gardner is such a dangerous DB because you could beat him off the line, you could give him a good release, but if he can recover quickly like that, that is very, very tough to beat. You have to be so on the ball. And some of you might ask, well, coach, how do I beat a DB who has great recovery speed? You have to be so on the ball with your timing, with your quarterback. You have to be so precise with your routes to even get a little bit of separation. Like on that out route and that dig route, you see how precise, how small of a margin of error there is. If Kirk Cousins on that out route doesn't miss that thing high, he throws it behind like he does though. A DB with recovery speed's picking that and putting that to the house. On that dig, if he misses by even just an inch behind him, Gardner's going to make a play on that thing. So to beat a guy like that, to beat a talented DB, got to make sure your routes are precise, and you have to make sure that you're on the same page with your quarterback timing-wise. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job battling it out by these two players, two great young players in the NFL. Great job by Jefferson with his routes, and then obviously Gardner making it tough on him the whole day. All right, fellas, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, if you would like a full 2-month-long wide receiver gym and on-field workout schedule, all the things that wide receivers should be doing in the gym and on the field, over 500 plus exercises and drills, all mapped out for you guys with sets, reps, examples of each exercise, examples of each drills, pretty much everything that wide receivers need to improve this offseason. So check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that, you guys, and I'll see you next time.